and they have say. Let's start to discuss it now. Yanko.
Manchester United na and here airby and they say omo ebeshia Ole Gunnar Solskjaer either ene anase ochina na omo shia Solskjaer la and here airby nyina ne say omo beso omo ne kasa say maybe atwam de obey yebo a club no omo say hia ne mo abiem and that's omo be say obeso dwumadi enim till the end of the season na obeso mu a na yebo season wi a man you benya time mre na omo dey take omo decision as to coach omo pay na utie enkoma e free inside air bar omo say Manchester be say omo nya samre no because of two reasons the edikan omo be so mbe pre omo ho obi ani omo table no sisi ya omo ye so convinced say
on is on kofa no
on was ye kofa into omo person be pre omo. Number 2, from now kopim the end of the season there are a lot of situations ebetimi see the edikan coach be say Antonio Areola of Bournemouth say your season where we are the contract be of Bournemouth
you can't free
coach be say Marco Silva of Fulham your season where we are the contract be we of Fulham coach be say Oliver Glasner your season where we are the contract be we of Crystal Palace. Now man who those 3 coaches say o me good coaches say what's na club be mo na club near mid table relatively smaller club na obo adwuma na wadwuma ne so ani a sometimes rich obi o wiase bia aspire to go to the top into for instance obi say Oliver Glasner oba a team o hihye o Crystal Palace no o gidi passes a Crystal Palace a big team and they will maintain the best players amano then they will add up to it then he can do more but now what because Crystal Palace any team kese nti o hihye team ya isi agiri o hihye team ya isi agiri and one share you may be stagnant in baby abetimi djumadi na dru because only big club or more big ambitions or big sika or some of big things. So be say Antonio Areola
Bournemouth players are what you say
Senkasa me Milos keke chimo da so team nim and ko bia available say menyo kwei and only baby akọ ne ade a ebia kasa menka obetuma catch no say menya additions be I will challenge for the but you can't say that to Bournemouth. There is no way you can say that. Marco Silva the same thing. Enti omo need to say anhwe ya na ebia coaches ni bia omo contract ebe we o mid table no. They may aspire to go to a bigger club where omo say they can get a very good support. Now omo timi realize omo dream of winning big trophies ni amaya contenders of the big competitions, you know. Number 2, Rich, yabo World Cup, yabo season we ya na yako World Cup. There are some managers, they were club managers, but now Oma switch it to national team eduma. And so the mimi no national teams eduma no. Rich in Pempi, say obo major tournament we are. There are a lot of casualties. For instance, and then Thomas Tuchel, the coach of England ahead of the World Cup.
Yeah.
Rich, yabo World Cup ni wiye. Na England and drew mu target or mu pe. Na omu jinse o ma anya ade a.
No.
They can get him off. Even with Germany ni Julian Nagelsmann. if they go to the World Cup and we are more convincing performance, they can flip him off. Bako Carlo Ancelotti ne Brazil. Omuko World Cup no mujiri say na dey yakofa Italian ababe coach here Brazilian national team. They okoye dey say ke betimi ya coach our Brazil betimi dey ayebi ya yamane nko. Enti when you are waiting not just for club coaches omu contract be we, but there are some coaches in so after the World Cup they may get into a situation where they become available. And omu ya available probably Man, you will prefer to say Junior Nagelsmann. But while you have so coach German national team, and you concentration enko Andoni Arola so. But when you say communion you be available than Caribbean come Nagelsmann than Arola.
Because my owners now, it means you set Thomas Tuchel with my head.
Or England. Yes. They are even coaches are rich. They can even do well with their country. But they become satisfied with omo target and say, oh, me German German say, me we need BB with them. Mako we need World Cup. Now me must me switch it. And Manchester United is a big club. A lot of these coaches are here. Omo dream to one day go and coach there. And the Ubertman will be say Carlo Ancelotti. Go to the World Cup with Brazil. Get to semi-finals. Right after that, he says, yeah, me jiri say the mbeye wa hano. Me team stabilizing national team no. Say man you adwuma na beda ho one of the jobs I dreamt of doing. Me kwa coach yomo. Nti they want to wait. They really want to wait. Now enya ole nkwa. And omo hwe ani mu say till the end of the season. Obetima baba so dwuma de ndiamomo. Okaya. The last time I only buy no. Who said obey caretaker and a file and a permanent and along the line a bouquet. Time a bouquet no mupamu ole no. It was Michael Carrick and a stepping in on Tomokofa Rafranik by NTI said they are talking to Carrick too. Say look, ole ba and Kebepe say also be babe buano. Na akoye ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Michael Carrick. Na omumienu etimi hold the fourth na omu etimi the Manchester United accord till the end of the season na omo monitor the situations na ma describe na we say if the market will favor them as to omu ambition ni baby a ombeso omo the club ne kwa
and it makes sense,
make a lot of sense, a lot of sense. Now ona ema uni ideally se coach wo wiase nyina except Abia or they are strongly attached to big clubs. No, available. Who will you prefer? Biao, apart from maybe or mommy attached to big clubs, Abia, Xabi Alonso, Real Madrid. You can't make any situation say Hansi Flick with Barca. There is BBN Enzima and they are available. And apart from mama, or may attached to big clubs are okay. Including the national team coaches. So be available after the season.
Let me say either Thomas Tuchel or Papa Grant is a Liverpool. Jurgen Klopp. Yeah. Says the clubs on Sufi.
Yeah.
On you say be a bit na Casano Baba Jiji Medina. I love the charisma of the coach, you know. The aura around him.
When say Klopp is not possible.
Oh, Casa.
No.
Omba.
No. Club is Liverpool. Club cannot even think of betraying Liverpool to come and coach Manchester United.
Or the Liverpool is that?
Yes, and you know, minimum so be team because oh I won't be that. Conform my pledge of my allegiance to baby or my switch it in a short time. It depends on the individual and the principles. The club I know will never do that. Dabi. Into when you club on film on less.
Thomas Tuchel.
Yeah.
Tuchel because on the Premier League, you know.
Then my main for in Tattoo. And no David Austin on the Athletic podcast. It can be say. Aside all the situations now I describe your man. Man you esa a favor a coach or mujiri say or Premier League experience.
Okay.
Inti se ekoba say head to head omanya short list of coaches. Their Premier League experience, will have a certain advantage because they think sometimes bringing someone in a hotel system not say already ebwa and also so be. So for instance, say Thomas Tuchel be available. He has Premier League experience.
The Chelsea Champions League.
But yeah, apart from Tuchel, Obiara ni utrimo.
Coach is Ancelotti me nyesho so baba.
Say tell me say if
Sebi o ya available no baba. Ancelotti is big. Ancelotti is so big. Oba ono so de bibi sonko bi beba
into Tuchel Ancelotti. Okay. Before you proceed, mami muta man you for no mutie.
So omo so metro
message mra. If all the coaches apart from those attached to big clubs now, any club who will not come, and who would they prefer? Say after the season, Omubenya. Now, Mami teasing 1 or 2 names.
Obi abo Unai Emery dinzi.
Unai Emery.
Aston Villa.
Unai Emery.
And was very good. If you ever far Aston Villa, and a cut top 4 our Premier League nima. Always over mention Aston Villa.
Of course.
And, I mean, why Ejuma?
Unai Emery at Manchester will do a very, very good job.
Yes.
Yeah, remember the next level, but Messiah Hayen Dino.
Okay.
What about Oliver Glasner? Glasner with what
Crystal Palace,
Frankfurt, with the materials now Crystal Palace now. They are all children. Unye so convinced or deserve it. A big shot be said to try and see whether obet my head.
Me packing order. Say Ebia, yeah, no bit said Tuchel no money idea. I think sure
Glasner will be
yes,
fine.
Oliver Glasner. Very, very good coach. Very, very good coach.
He's not a bad coach
at all. Yeah,
on him team so. And he seems to have a certain principle be. And our Premier League experience, And for me, the fact that it is Manchester, I understand English, I'll prefer him. Manchester with an English manager and for that, it becomes too calm. I want Carrick point. I want him to canasa.
Also, no.
Yeah, and Emfa, you need an European coach.
So, Jima Obiti said, guys, Sargisi. Me consider
the last time I watched a video of Solskjaer named Mickey Bats. And now, and if I can't you interview, so Omubodina, Omujidi said, Omo prefer no Manchester, Omonka yes. Omoka, guys, I get no. I don't know the reason. But I am one crack so and so. Say, man, you are doing better. Guys, I get a D and feature prominently. Because, Rich, probably he is the only English coach. Maybe Jiri say, Ejumano, obeti nya baby. Uye be a de how more and a de how the ono ankasa press conference no ankasa dabi. Ono no ompe. Into be any di grand fees ankomo no or tena Newcastle. Oliver Glasner wouldn't be bad. Oliver Glasner ain't bad cry. Will you prefer bringing back Pellegrini from Real Betis back to the Premier League?
On our coach City da. And Pellegrini.
Yes. Probably he will cross minds. What about this coach? This Italian coach? The Oye Jumo Man City or Koye Jumama Italian national team or Domoji. Oh, what is his name? My message in this year.
Although Mubaji
Heroes, yes. Is it Robert?
The Omejino England, no?
Yes.
Oh, the DS at the Eba.
Neko.
Is this Spalletti? No.
David Spalletti.
Okay.
Roberto Mancini.
Okay.
Mancini in your battle.
Mancini is also as a Kuta. City at a point.
Yeah, of course, coaching Manchester City, Omuji League. But tell him time he was the one there. Roberto Mancini. Umbe. Onyabadu. He's strict, kakra. Yeah. But here we come away, no, Rich. In all them come out, there's one thing you must understand. Adia ama amomim. Entinian survive for so long. It is still there. Enti Obo Thomas Tuchel, no. Oka Carlo Ancelotti, no. Maybe Bo Oliver Glasner, Yebo Roberto Mancini, Pellegrini Muni Adenina. There is one thing I likely say it will be very, very influential in the next appointment. Rich, that will be say. Senior Mourinho Koka, so I wanted to become the manager. It should be a coach obejiatum to succumb to a higher authority. Be say director of football. A higher authority be to say director of recruitment.
Then say then we should forget about the Thomas Tuchel and the rest.
That because
I'm succumb to Zania.
You see, absolute. Mami, show. That is the reason why media no coach and community no.
Okay.
Say, what do you come in area? You still think say coach now Bebani should be someone workers. Any Christopher Vevon, Ejidi say they can work with. And so, for instance, you Obi mention Unai Emery. Yeah. Emery will come and say, Mumpa Momo na Monfa Munchimbra. Will Manchester United Sergio Wycliffe say, okay, because of the coaching team, Omo Ayako for more money Oma Barada mo SC projects in the Amayeno. Yejo Mokwana. And if you don't sack those people for Munchi to have his space with Unai Emery, will he come? The answer is no. So Mr. Thomas Tuchel, Carlo Ancelotti, Muba, look at how big they are. Na workers money. Vivo Musharom show. I had yena bosses no. It's yena project in Ekutai. And yena ye keep it up on the progress in Emushebia. So you have to listen to us. Now you see, did you make us say any absolute say oh big person meets me no munya juan say. Klopp was able to work with Michael Oliver. Oliver was a nobody in quotation marks. No, onye as two sporting director biya. But Klopp, he was able to have a good professional relationship with him. A Jumane fire. And you can even get Tuchel. So Vivio was in Germany. Why you more workers minimum or pass it through Chelsea and I can have a relationship. The answer about here was it. The answer about here was it. That is the last layer. Apart from all the deliberation analysis you need to fix that too. Say Obi Obebano must be someone who is ready to have a relationship with those people. Na create problem. Say last away a create. So that is the situation at Manchester United. When say and we can move on.
I went to read the said this year follow the trend. I say Richardo, as you have Chelsea interest at heart, I also have Manchester United. Now did you go to
I very recommending
Graham Potter.
Okay.
Otto Addo.
Okay.
Postecoglou. And I will run it.
Okay. I say one confirm back on.
Potter. Get the mama da Gucci.
Rich, before I touch on the Afcon Carrick.
Okay.
Message now. We a guy interview where you read first, about Liam and him being amateur coach. Yeah. Any obedi rebata about that is the same thing.
Mokai.
Ye kafa Enzo Maresca home, but at a point in time Fena and Kofo Giri say your man a time obeti my age. You see, that discussion no I won't conform pa even after no common idea no there were people I know who are Chelsea fans I talked to who raised that issue say yes and some na make any no credit but they would have wished Chelsea will breach that balance no more tilting to obi or more experience
and obi after na adwuma no na
ya mu dia say omo form the job for instance say offer Liam now for Oliver Glasner they are not obi top notch coaches but at least Glasner has won things with Frankfurt or back Crystal or BGF so he has shown you a certain pedigree marriage unim dientia me quite careful say me boy dey be good entirely in football no because any sana dey be a story in it here
because enra me can say what dey obi to say Pep
yes
an example Pep Obano no team B of Barcelona and Pep one of the best
my man can say Barcelona board now has gone to a meeting looking for the next coach of Barca time of movie meeting I say akono the name they left the meeting with was Jose TNU one Laporta era elevator mu then one board member on the Otaiko Barca reserve team training I can say meeting nothing no we didn't consider our reserve team coach whom I have many relationship many team come as a board member of the club who has expressed quiet desire say one day so an opportunity of first team one obey and to him that board member rush Juan Laporta in the elevator and we say president nkoma yedi nyina ya mo pepdin say uko show mo matches any philosophy in the way see bona or a typical Barcelona DNA person and our papa say your man opportunity now he will step in and do it. All about to say, hey, oh yeah, sure. Say, Opa, president, Oka, friend, never. All about said, oh, say, okay. He stepped out of the elevator, called Pep, and I say, Ura, you didn't come out about coaches I am considered for Barcelona. And at this board member, board, dear chairman, are you interested? I say, oh yes. Will you be able to do the job? I say, Opa, schedule a meeting for me to meet the board. I'm convinced you said you want meeting ya. Pep became the manager. The rest is history. I am saying, say, Rich, since Pep,
but is it always the same?
And yeah, always.
Okay.
But when someone
1 out of 1,000 be.
But you see, that is
the trend, no?
Exactly. Since Pep buy, until I'm catch you say, Opa bon company correct teams now. Now who are the coaches of these teams? It is Vincent Company. It is Mikel Arteta. It is Diego Simeone. Yamubo. Old players, yai. And then so Mukuto coaching badges. They are ready and accommodate say they want opportunity to do something.
Okay.
And I am even saying, say, coach the curfew, obviously, Chelsea team is too young. As I'm crying doors what team in him. Then I refer to you, say, and the graphic that we brought. Rich, today, the champions of Europe, the finalists of the FIFA Club World Cup, I was one of the youngest team in Europe, in Paris Saint-Germain. In fact, so over the top 5, and also the top 6, teams say what Europe are more the youngest squad. You will get both the European champions and the world champions in that category.
And the graphic in the crowd too. YouTube and Shart TV.
Now, Rich, if you look at the graphic,
Strasbourg,
PSG, Parma, Toulouse, Chelsea. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Now in the top 5, no, it's the European champions in Paris Saint-Germain and the world champions in Chelsea. And who told you say you need and pen you for to win trophies? You need them cry and then cry about no. You don't need 35 or 5, but you really need and cry predominantly to win the trophies now. Oh, no. Rich. Now, Senkesi or Mofukro we would have teased scripts
Minimum say dia Congo mo support and as a man.
No, I'm talking about AFCON winner here. Is it scripted?
And one.
That is it.
Where is it now? Where the big boys in Kwao.
My memo image video, you see something.
Mali Senegal.
You say going into the AFCON. Yeah, we call AFCON. Yeah, ports. Ports were done based on the top ranked teams in Africa. And he said, we are top ranker, you go into pot 1. Now it did so Rich. Minister Jeff who have gotten the image. Good. If you look at this, baby AFCON Akwakodruno. Rich, do you know what we are getting? We are getting all the teams in pot 1 and the top 2 teams in pot 2 in the quarterfinals.
Matches na no share.
And see, AFCON, the best 8 countries on the African continent, do the last 8 of the tournament.
Senegal, Egypt, Algeria, Nigeria, Ivory Coast, Cameroon, Mali.
That is it.
Almost in the quarter final. Now look at the pairings. Mali, Senegal, Cameroon against the host country, Morocco. Now the Saturday, no, because we're near Friday games, you know. Saturday, no first match, Algeria, Nigeria. Now we're in Egypt, Ivory Coast, defending champions. Matches with you. I'm there. AFCON with them for the big boys.
Me need be but me who AFCON is here.
Go ahead now.
And is it just even AFCON? Me who international tournament?
Yeah.
No World Cup, not Euros, not Copa America, not Asian Championship. You do the final 8, and the best 8 countries on the continent. Me who be that? For instance, Yabako World Cup, Rich, Nanki do quarterfinals. Now offer the FIFA Coca-Cola ranking now, the top 8 and almost like a bomb. That would have been some spectacle, and FIFA would have blown the quarterfinals out of proportion. And that is what the African continent is talking about. Rich, Morocco, Cameroon. How do you separate? Algeria, Nigeria, Mali, Senegal, West African derby. I just them where the senior we are too. Rich, then Egypt,
Ivory Coast.
Damn.
Me sure say can't for no to make say.
Yes.
Fishes we the ama competition no.
Yes,
said the ade ne person ekọ no na ekọ no. But Nigeria be show Algeria.
Yantubasi.
Omo show.
Yantubasi.
Algeria team no. Omo fa pa na but.
Yantubasi o.
Once Nigeria din kan she Tunisia wo.
Me meti ase. Say o she enra game na. And how they can. Rich, don't forget the Algerian team. DR Congo no muyo no. Also met Nigeria. Ekosi sen.
Omo Nigeria.
Enti.
And I say mia one bisaka na MC.
Big the bre. Yes. Wa bre.
Okay man am say akwana to team.
And we defend no na chikra. Who say he gave up.
Asamaba.
No wa bre.
Ti akwana 10 ya pa.
No bobo na share. Rich, me say country bia etime DR Congo every competition don't underrate them.
Okay.
And unimadie ba kwa Emma make us say be very very careful about Algeria team no. Rich, unim the difference between sometimes your skin are black when you go tournament and no more skin are white when you go to tournament. Eya kwa kwa say bar some few examples with the black Africans, no. Rich, the Maghrebian countries, no. Ayana omunya coaches they are able to take the tough decisions. Enra, do share what you are going off bench in the
yeah, off bench ba no be say.
The Oman assist Haji Musa, every bench in the Rich, players many you omo film do omo buy. We had my rest. how many
is
what just a bench captain or did you be or cotton bench or after or coaches no more coach team no and more motivation or more 90 minutes or no more kasa and sa quarter is what gives a team some vibe not to go and win. Rich, imagine say Sankasa same game and Nigeria neighbor and Victor Siemens or met and what she on and sometimes on Ghana, Cameroon, Ivory Coast, Nigeria. So no man a year free tournament team no. Okay. Say, Rich, would the script not fit if the next game Ekoba say Algeria in Nigeria? People will say, and to corner Victor Osimhen look my coin, you know. A Didiko dressing because anyway there were reports say Victor Osimhen say go back to Turkey. Chinchina or so few. Assuming they are able to manage those situations. Now Algeria ko you say Kim. Rich, we can have something to say. Ebia, the harmony in our camp was broken. And I saw no man getting no. Now, who said there be a more tournament in a Cameroon bar, especially who said eto to VVIP. Rich, he will still be at the VVIP against Morocco. And Moroccans must be careful. They are the host nation. They are one of the best and as a favorites to win. But the second best country when it comes to winning the AFCON in Cameroon. And they are one of the countries no matter baby you will see AFCON or about Rich no you from they have that kind of character. And they should be very, very careful. And now Burkina Faso for no. They didn't prepare for the Ivory Coast team. Mama game no cry yefe.
Pass bi anom de ache.
Marriage.
Untimi attack wo
Ivory Coast Egypt. Mama game na untimi separate wo. If the game na nkoso ama hu de asia. Look, South Ivory Coast team now as defending champion they are doing well. So when you compare Egypt, the last time you said they say oh Egypt Benin or how much no boy now results was deceiving. And no credit. Mama catch us say can't you be say Egypt? They need only character. Ivory Coast may look favorite on paper against Egypt, but when the game is Shaswa, the Egyptians know what they can stretch games, stretch it. And Pili said, "You know, Algeria for the year they are going to go for. You know, so we that's like one moment. Now either Omar Marmoush and I say Trezike mu Bob Pumne Tomwa. And this are grand answer. And see, the matchups are crazy. And if you're you have games to build. All right. The AFCON.
A brand copa is 43. The can emfa and has an economy. Yeah.
A Gazali Garden and
so on or patch.
Exactly.
And has and patch.
And